Isaiah. Chapter 60. Arise. Shine. For your light has come, and the glory of Jehovah has risen upon you. For, behold, the darkness will cover the earth, and deep darkness the peoples, but Jehovah will rise upon you, and his glory will be seen upon you. And nations will come to your light, and kings to the brightness of your rising. Lift up your eyes around you and see, they all gather together, they come to you, your sons will come from far away, and your daughters will be carried on the hip. Then you will see and you will beam, and your heart will be in awe and will swell with joy, for the abundance of the sea will be turned to you, the wealth of the nations will come to you. A multitude of camels will cover you, the young camels of Midian and Ephah, all those from Sheba will come, they will carry gold and frankincense, and they will bear the good news of Jehovah's praises. All the flocks of Kedar will be gathered together to you, the rams of Nebaioth will minister to you, they will go up acceptably upon my altar, and I will beautify the house of my beauty. Who are these who fly like a cloud, and like the doves to their dovecot? Surely the coastlands will look eagerly for me, and the ships of Tarshish will come first, to bring your children from afar, their silver and their gold with them, unto the name of Jehovah your God and unto the Holy One of Israel, for he has beautified you. And the children of foreigners will build up your walls, and their kings will minister to you, for in my wrath I struck you, but in my favor I had compassion on you. And your gates will be open continually, they will not be closed day or night, so that they may bring to you the wealth of the nations and their kings being led in procession. For the nation and the kingdom that will not serve you will perish, and the nations will be utterly wasted. The glory of Lebanon will come to you, the fir tree, the pine tree, and the box tree together, to beautify the place of my sanctuary, and I will make the place for my feet glorious. And the sons of those who afflicted you will come bowing down to you, and all those who despised you will bow down at the soles of your feet, and they will call you the city of Jehovah, the Zion of the Holy One of Israel. Whereas you have been forsaken and hated, so that no one would pass through you, I will make you an eternal excellency, a joy from generation to generation. And you will suck the milk of nations and suck the breast of kings, thus you will know that I, Jehovah, am your Savior and your Redeemer, the Mighty One of Jacob. Instead of brass I will bring gold, and instead of iron I will bring silver, and instead of wood there will be brass, and instead of stones there will be iron, and I will make peace your officers, and righteousness your rulers. Violence will no longer be heard in your land, nor desolation and destruction within your borders, but you will call your walls salvation, and your gates praise. You will no longer have the sun for your light by day, nor for brightness will the moon give you light, but Jehovah will be an eternal light to you, and your God your beauty. Your sun will no longer go down, nor will your moon withdraw, for Jehovah will be an eternal light to you, and the days of your mourning will be ended. Then all your people will be righteous, they will possess the land forever, the branch of my planting, the works of my hands, that I may be beautified. The least one will become 1,000, and the smallest a strong nation. I, Jehovah, will hasten it in its time. Isaiah. Chapter 61. The Spirit of the Lord Jehovah is upon me, because Jehovah has anointed me to bring good news to the afflicted, he has sent me to bind up the wounds of the broken-hearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and the opening of the eyes to those who are bound. To proclaim the acceptable year of Jehovah and the day of vengeance of our God, to comfort all who mourn. To grant to those who mourn in Zion, to give to them a headdress instead of ashes, the oil of gladness instead of mourning, the mantle of praise instead of a spirit of heaviness, that they may be called the terebinths of righteousness, the planting of Jehovah, that he may be glorified. And they will rebuild the ancient ruins, they will raise up the former desolations, and they will repair the cities of waste, the desolations of generation upon generation. And strangers will stand and feed your flocks, and the sons of the foreigner will be your plowmen and vinedressers. But you will be called the priests of Jehovah, people will speak of you as the ministers of our God. You will eat the wealth of nations, and you will boast in their glory. Instead of your shame there will be a double portion, and instead of humiliation they will give a ringing shout for their portion. Therefore in their land they will possess double, eternal joy will be theirs. For I, Jehovah, love justice, I hate robbery with wrong, and I will faithfully give them their recompense, and I will make an eternal covenant with them. Then their seed will be known among the nations, and their offspring in the midst of the peoples. All who see them will acknowledge them, that they are the seed whom Jehovah has blessed. I will rejoice greatly in Jehovah, my soul will exult in my God, for he has clothed me with the garments of salvation, he has wrapped me with the robe of righteousness. I am like a bridegroom who wears the headdress of the priest, and like a bride who adorns herself with her jewels. For as the earth brings forth its sprout, and as the garden causes the things sown in it to spring up, so will the Lord Jehovah cause righteousness and praise to spring up before all the nations. Isaiah chapter 62. For Zion's sake I will not keep silent, and for Jerusalem's sake I will not be quiet, until her righteousness goes forth like brightness, and her salvation like a burning torch. And the nations will see your righteousness, and all the kings, your glory, and you will be called by a new name, which the mouth of Jehovah will designate. You will also be a crown of beauty in the hand of Jehovah, and a royal turban in the palm of your God. And it will no longer be said to you, forsaken. Nor to your land will it be said any longer, desolate. But you will be called, my delight is in her, and your land, married, for Jehovah delights in you, and your land will be married. For as a young man marries a virgin, your sons will marry you, and with the joy of the bridegroom over the bride your God will rejoice over you. Upon your walls, O Jerusalem, I have appointed watchmen, all day and all night they will never keep silent. You who remind Jehovah, do not be dumb. And do not give him quiet until he establishes and until he makes Jerusalem a praise in the earth. Jehovah has sworn by his right hand and by his strong arm, surely I will never again give your grain as food for your enemies, and surely the children of the foreigner will not drink your new wine for which you have labored. But they who have gathered it will eat it, and they will praise Jehovah, and they who have collected it will drink it in the courts of my holiness. Go through the gates, prepare the way for the people, cast up the highway, free it of stones, raise up a standard for the people. See, Jehovah has announced to the end of the earth, say to the daughter of Zion, your salvation is now coming, now his reward is with him and his recompense before him. And they will call them, the holy people, the redeemed of Jehovah, and you will be called, sought after. A city not forsaken. Isaiah chapter 63. Who is this who comes from Edom with red-stained garments, from Bozrah? This one who is majestic in his apparel, marching in the greatness of his strength. It is I who speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Why are you red in apparel, and your garments like those of him who treads in the winepress? I have trodden the wine trough alone, and from the peoples there was no man with me. And I trod them in my anger and trampled them in my wrath, and their lifeblood is sprinkled on my garments, and I have stained all my apparel. For the day of recompense was in my heart, and the year of my redemption had come. And I looked and there was no one to help, and I was appalled that there was no one to uphold. Therefore my own arm accomplished salvation for me, and my wrath, it upheld me. And I trod down the peoples in my anger and made them drunk in my wrath, and I poured out their lifeblood upon the earth. I will make mention of the loving kindnesses of Jehovah, the praises of Jehovah, according to all that Jehovah has bestowed on us and the great goodness toward the house of Israel, which he has bestowed on them according to his compassions and according to the multitude of his loving kindnesses. For he said, surely, they are my people, children who will not deal falsely, so he became their Savior. In all their affliction he was afflicted, and the angel of his presence saved them, in his love and in his mercy he redeemed them, and he bore them up and carried them all the days of old. But they rebelled and grieved his spirit of holiness, therefore he turned to become their enemy, he fought against them. Then he remembered the days of old, Moses and his people. Where is he who brought them up out of the sea with the shepherds of his flock? Where is he who put in their midst his spirit of holiness? Who made his glorious arm go at the right hand of Moses, who divided the waters before them, to make for himself a name forever? Who led them through the depths, like a horse in the wilderness, and they did not stumble? Like the cattle which go down into the valley, the Spirit of Jehovah caused them to rest. Thus did you lead your people, to make for yourself a glorious name. Look down from heaven, and see from the habitation of your holiness and your beauty, where are your zeal and your mighty acts? The stirring of your inward parts and your compassions are restrained toward me. For you are our Father, since Abraham does not know us, and Israel does not acknowledge us. You, Jehovah, are our Father, our Redeemer from of old is your name. Why, O Jehovah, do you cause us to wander from your ways and harden our hearts so that we do not fear you? Return for the sake of your servants, the tribes of your inheritance. Your holy people have possessed your sanctuary for a little while, our adversaries have trodden it down. We have become like those over whom you have never ruled, like those who have not been called by your name.